All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Bullets, Barbells, and Barbecue. I'm your host, Brett. I have Chris, the artist formerly known as Heavy C. I have Tanner, the head, and I have Matt. Matt's gonna give up drinking because he can't sleep.
Yep.
You go, what?
Cutting out booze.
The four-wheeler rollover didn't stop it, but
No.
sleeping will.
I know what caused that.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So he's gonna do some experimenting.
I bet you he's
so-
not nearly as funny anymore.
No.
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 And he's on the Diet Coke, so
Wow.
not even a monster.
Fucking really sliding.
Right? You were right with your opening comment.
You can lose 40 pounds.
Oh man.
Nah.
What'd you do? I gave up Bud Heavy.
Yeah, I had a friend who was going to quit smoking, and he was only going to smoke when he drank, so then he just drank more. Then he drank Bud Heavy and got fat. But,
He drank 7 days a week so he could smoke.
but you know, now he doesn't smoke anymore, and he's thinner.
Oh, that's good.
So
Quitter.
yeah. We got our show partners, Elite Nutrition Omaha, EliteNutritionOmaha.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10%, or you can go in the store and
Yell B3.
get a free shaker.
Yeah.
Works.
Yell it even louder if you see Steve working. We also have Rosewood Block. They make the best cutting boards in the barbecue game.
I
Check
really
them
could
out.
have used mine yesterday.
I know.
It's
We haven't
on
got ours
order.
yet either, so.
Yeah.
But they're busy. They make good stuff. Quality takes time.
Yeah.
Use B3 at checkout. 10% off there also. And this is the Sunday after Thanksgiving. We're recording at the Mecca Omaha Barbell. So we're going to talk about Sunday dinners. Or Thanksgiving dinners, not Sunday dinners. Man. Thanksgiving
Are you
dinners.
hungry?
Well, I wasn't sure if Tanner's wife was going to make food for us. 'Cause she does that sometimes.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
really
kind of
good.
held out, but I had like a little bag of Doritos to hold me over. It's fine.
The tiny bag. too.
Yeah, it was just
It's like-
it was like the little snack size one.
So we had our family, like all the kids over, all the dozens and dozens of children.
Yeah, you do have a lot of kids. It's like the fucking Brady Bunch at Tanner's house.
And had them over yesterday for dinner. So we had to start cooking on Friday.
Cooking on Friday, and they came yesterday.
Oh, man.
Are you doing like whole hog?
Well, okay.
Got
My
the pit dug out.
In
No,
ground.
my Nicole won't do anything. Like we opened no cans. Okay, like cream, like green bean casserole. She made the mushroom gravy from like mushrooms.
Where'd you get the green beans?
fresh green beans? Yeah.
Is that from your garden where you had to carry all that dirt because you don't know how to take
Well,
a
it's
panel on your
cold,
fence?
and no, I don't have. I'm pretty much out of produce. Everything else is frozen now
Oh.
or canned. But everything's from scratch. Like everything is from scratch. We even fried the onions for the top of the green bean casserole. That was pretty good though.
So where did you get the oil from?
I just
Oh, man.
I went and got some peanuts and squeezed them.
By hand.
Just hand squeezed peanut oil.
And now the
that
truth
took
comes
a
out.
long time.
The truth comes out.
I
All of our
know.
food's artificial.
Yeah. We did not make the oil. Don't even. She's gonna have a new project for me. She's like,
Right.
how do you make oil?
Yeah. I'm sure you're good at churning butter with your strokes, so you can probably make oil.
Yeah. So it just takes a while.
And you guys made, because you texted me, had a spatchcock turkey.
Oh yeah, that was freaking good.
What else did you make? Is that what you made? Was your meat, or did you make anything else for meat wise?
Ham, but we just roasted a ham. That
Oh.
was the easy part.
Nice.
But the freaking spatchcock turkey was good, except for invest in some poultry shears because we had a
Yeah.
big turkey and I tried to do that bitch with a knife and I ended up just ripping. I ended up ripping the neck bone out. Like if you would have seen the bottom of the turkey, like what the fuck happened to this turkey? But when you flip it over and you cook it, it looks pretty. Like I have a picture.
do
like,
look really
it looks-
pretty, yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I
You
did
just don't wanna see the
spatchcock, but
bottom of it.
I got some shears, and that was still hard to cut the spine out.
Yeah,
And
not
I don't know who sharpens knives anymore. That's like a lost trade.
You can take it to Ace Hardware. We'll do knives. Like they have a little. They probably don't give you the best edge because they have a little machine back there, but they'll like actually sharpen.
What about skizzers?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's not a lot. It's like gunsmithing. There's not a lot of. It's kind of like a lost, like the old whetstone. That's kind of a
Right.
lost talent and trade.
Do you guys invest? Like, do you guys have like really good knives?
I'd say I have like middle of the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My general knives. I started getting these. They look like restaurant knives, and Ace sells them. I think Merlin is
Is that the white
brand.
handle one?
Yeah. And so I started getting those, and I'm on my second set, They last quite a while, but I use like not the sharpener, but the round, like the rod that just gives
Yeah,
me the
it's a
edge back.
sharpener, yeah.
So I use that to like, as I'm cutting, before I put them away, to always make sure they have like a good edge, and they've lasted a good long time.
I got a set. I can't remember what they are. It was when a place was going out of business here, and they sold nice knives, and they looked really cool.
Yeah.
So I got a set. But then a friend of mine got me one. There's a guy on, I think he's on Instagram, Small Plate Chef. He makes custom knives, and he got me a custom knife from that dude.
I have one of the like big like Nicole got me one of the big like forged in fire like
Like the
Oh,
big
yeah.
cleaver.
yeah, that thing's sweet. But the rest of our knives, I mean, they're just probably
Yeah.
whatever Costco had, Hinkle or
Yeah.
that
But I
a
mean,
knife?
if you use that round to like give them an edge,
Yeah.
you can keep like an okay knife lasting for a long time.
I have one of those. The company's called F Dick. It's really funny. But it's got like, you drag the knife through it. It's got like two metal kind of,
Yeah.
whatever you're going to call them, fingers. You just drag it through. It's the same idea as
Yeah.
but if you're not, like I don't know why those things make me nervous. Like I'm going to fucking cut a finger
Because
off.
they had just a little tiny hand guard, and when you have that one that you kind of pull down to yourself.
Yeah. So I just drag it through this thing, and that works pretty good too to kind of keep an edge. But I don't know. I bought a sharpener from, I don't know, Shields or something. It was like supposed to be the best one. I couldn't. And Coach X tried it too. Fucking, we couldn't get that thing to sharpen shit.
Because you had a Woostoff for your shears,
Yeah.
right? So if you buy, so there's Woostoff, and then they make a couple like lower quality brands. But if you get like whatever their normal like Woostoff brand knives are, when they need sharpening, you just send them back to Woostoff, and they'll sharpen them and send them back. Not to like give them an edge, but if they actually need to be like ground down and resharpened, they'll sharpen them and send them back.
Yeah, because their shears are not cheap.
Is that the one you got?
Yeah, they're like $50 for a pair of
Man,
poultry shears.
I wish I would have had some yesterday. Or
It's
yeah.
nice. Like it definitely helps. Whether try to use, otherwise you try to use like those chicken shears that come in like your knife set.
Oh, man,
They just
they're
keep, like,
freaking
twisting.
terrible.
Fucking awful.
Like I said, I ended up just freaking pulling
Yeah.
it out. It was
I used
bad.
wire snips the first time I did a turkey. I was like, fuck this one out in the garage.
Dude, and the wire strips have like a 2-inch blade. That probably took forever.
You're just like,
Well, and then on the Meat Church video, he makes it look like it's going to take like 5 seconds, and he doesn't lie. I mean, he
but-
does it.
Yeah, he's got a guy that like he gets his like finger severing sharp. He's
Yeah.
got some guy that does all the sharpening. For
Good
him.
lord.
yeah.
I think if your knife's got a decent edge on it, you just get a piece of leather, you can strop it too, and that'll keep it, pretty decent.
Yeah.
As long as you're not like chipping bone with the thing, it
Well-
should be.
Well, that's the hard part when you're cutting
Yeah.
with those. Like you're cutting through bone, and like
Yeah.
some of them get real fucking thick. Like some of the ribs towards the top.
Well,
when
like I
you're
said,
trying to cut 'em.
he was doing like a 12-pound turkey, and we were doing like I said, a 19-pound turkey, and I'm just wondering if it was like,
Yeah, there's a lot more, like the bone that you're
Little
cutting
more
through is a
girth.
lot bigger. Yeah.
yeah,
Did you get a farm fresh one, or did you get a?
it's Costco.
So that's processed too. Fucking dude, you're talking this big game. You're not even making your own
I could have got a
oil.
turkey from my backyard.
Did
I'm
you
gonna
tackle
go-
your own pig for the ham?
Yeah,
I held it down.
Because we know a guy. If you can't handle the hog, we know a guy.
So next year I'm gonna go murder my own,
Yeah.
my own turkey. Squeeze.
You
my
probably want to
own
get like
penis.
how long does it take a turkey to get full maturity, Matt? You're a poultry guy. You probably want to get your turkey bought, next 5-6 months.
Your live turkey.
Okay,
They
I'll just have it in the
probably like at
backyard.
least a
Yeah.
year before they get.
Oh
like,
yeah,
full
better.
grown.
You should try to get one.
Okay,
But
I'll
if you,
get one in the
buy
backyard.
like, I bet if you buy,
Do you have to clip their wings so they don't fly away?
I don't think turkeys can really
no,
fly. Can
well, it
they?
depends. So
Yeah, they sound like a jet taking off when they do, though.
I'd imagine. Now we've only done chickens, but I imagine that if you buy a meat turkey, similar to like the meat chickens that we buy, like we get them as chicks, they grow super fast,
Okay.
and they have zero desire to leave because all they want to do is eat
And I
shit.
need a pig so I can get my own ham.
Yep.
Okay.
Go to Little Green. Fuck, I can never remember. Little Green Range, Little Green Mountain Farm in Fort Calhoun.
Okay.
And they do the either Berkshire or Duroc pigs, and you can just order a whole hog from them.
Or if you like, Just Good Meats will do farm fresh turkeys.
Yeah.
That's what we
How
did.
did yours turn out?
It was good. Mine was just like, because you can do like a 10 to 12 or whatever 14 I just did. I ended up getting a 10. So by spatchcocked it also, but we put like a whole stick of butter under the breast skin.
Oh yeah.
And then like pinned it, like basically sewed it with a toothpick so it wouldn't come out, and then seasoned it with honey hog from Meat Church, and then used a little bit of the Texas sugar I had left because I probably won't buy any more of the Texas sugar.
You don't
It's
like
not,
it?
It's not. It's all right. It's not the best thing I've ever had.
Did you baste it? I went out and basted mine. Mine in butter twice.
There was so much butter in the
Well,
boobs.
yeah,
it was
that's-
aggressive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, like we put a lot of butter in there, but she's like, you should baste it in butter. I'm like, I don't know. And I was like, went and did it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I seasoned the underside like he did in the video, but I don't understand because I think you're just losing all that seasoning
Why?
because that's the cook side down. I think it's
Inside-
just
yeah,
gonna
the
I think
cook
it
off.
still gets in there a little bit.
I did let it sit a little bit, but
Well, it was the most flavorful turkey that I've had in a long time. Like
Yeah.
Did you brine it?
I was
Yep.
just going to ask that.
Yeah.
Did you
So
brine yours too?
yeah, I did. We did we put it in like, was it Tuesday night? So it does like a 36-hour brine
Yeah.
kind of by the time we get it going. And we did like a honey brine from Cabela's.
yeah. Nicole made the brine,
Of course.
of course.
I didn't make any of that.
Nope.
I just went to Cabela's and got a jar.
We
and,
made our own salt for the brine.
Yeah.
and then we use
Get your own sodium and your own chloride. You just
Yes.
smash them together. Look, salt.
if you don't have a briner bucket, they're pretty handy. Have you seen the briner buckets?
We have a food safe because we like store a bunch of flour and sugar and all that shit in the basement.
When you live on the farm like
When we live
that.
on the farm, yeah.
Yeah. The briner bucket's cool because you fill it with water, put your brine there, stir it, but then when you put whatever you're doing, because I did some wild boar in there too, and it's got like a plate you put down with little ridges, and you can put it down to hold the meat underwater and then twist it and it locks it into place so it can't float up out of the water.
Oh,
And I know they make like I have a turkey size one and they make a smaller one. Also, I think I got that I think they have them at Cabela's. I think I got either there or they didn't have it. I got it on Amazon, something like that. But it's super handy if you need to brine anything because it keeps it completely submerged. Because a lot of times it tends to float like a dead
one
body.
insulated, or do you got to put it in the fridge?
You put it in the fridge.
or in the garage
Or in
because
the
it's
garage?
cold.
Because it's cold.
Put it on the deck.
That's dicey. 'Cause what if
I
it's
use
not that
a
cold?
cooler. I have one of those. I think it's the Arctic one, but it's like the hard cooler. I don't know, hold like a 12-pack, whatever the small like travel one is with a handle. And that
12-pack
one-
of Diet Coke now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Loser.
right. You can put that one in there, and that works because you can put you put your brine, put your stuff in there, but then you just throw in a bunch of ice and just let it sit. And you don't have to put it in the fridge or anything.
Oh, so you're just like loose bird in the ice with the brine?
I think the last time I did it, I just used the bag, threw it in the downstairs fridge.
Yeah.
The big bag. I think I got them from How to Barbecue.
It's called
right?
like a briner
Yeah.
bag, isn't it?
It's a brine bag. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's all kinds of different ways to do it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to buy a bucket, you can just roll with the brine bag. But you never know; you could spring a leak, and then you go down there and fucking shit's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it turned out pretty good. That's the first time I've spatchcocked one. That was
Brett just likes saying spatchcock.
I do like
It is a great. Yeah.
Did you run your hands up underneath and separate the skin? Is that how you got your?
Yeah, so I got
butter
the
in there?
butter in there, and then I use that super wide spatula he got me from Traeger.
Oh yeah.
I got two of them. You got me one. Amber got one. So whichever one I used one of them.
burger
Just go out
spatula?
there with two of them.
It's like 4 inches wide.
Brisket
Yeah.
spatula, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
but it'll grab.
I got one of those,
It'll
too.
grab the whole bird. Just underneath it, just picked it up and put it on my rosewood block brisketeer cutting board.
Nice.
Tanner didn't put it on his cutting
Yeah,
board.
no.
No, I really wanted to. I was like, God, I wish I had my cutting board.
You could have put it on the counter and just wrote like rosewood block on the counter, right? And then your wife's maiden name or whatever on the other side.
Did you inject it?
No, I'm not. I don't know. I'm weird
I
about
watched Malcolm.
injections.
I watched Malcolm.
Do you have to
his.
inject when you brine? I thought brining was that was.
Well, he
part
brines
of-
his and injects it with like I can't remember what it was.
Malcolm is also absorbently fat, which I respect that guy a lot for his skills.
just
but
garlic
I
butter.
don't usually go back for 2 on camera.
yeah,
but
he used that Creole butter, didn't he?
yes.
Yeah, I'm weird on it.
But when he cut into it, he cut into the leg. It's like, that juice just shot out of there.
Like I feel like when they inject, like I just don't feel confident in myself, like because I feel like you have to like keep going and like turning and hitting different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
because you can't just put that whole thing in like one little area.
yeah. Because I went to check the temp on mine and I stuck the probe in on the thick part of the breast and like butter was just like fucking pouring out of it. And I was like, I'm just gonna keep that same hole going. But yeah, I'll do a spatchcock again probably next year. I thought it was overall a better experience than just cooking it like whole in a roasting. Because last couple of years I did it whole in a roasting pan in the smoker.
Yeah.
But we don't make the gravy off of
No.
the.
Oh yeah, we did. It was freaking amazing.
Oh yeah, I didn't put like a drip pan underneath of it or anything.
So you just took the neck bone and all the giblets and everything you took out of it.
And boil it down.
Well, you fry it. It was Meat Church's
Oh.
gravy recipe. You fry it all up, and then onions and celery and carrots you cook down, and then you hit it with a immersion blender and blend it up. Man, it was freaking good.
Okay.
It was. I'm not a gravy person.
Yeah.
It was freaking good.
Oh, I like some good gravy.
I like gravy too.
It's gotta be
It
good.
was probably the best turkey gravy I've ever had.
Gravy and green bean casserole, yo.
Yeah, that's all.
Green bean casserole is my favorite.
Yeah, that's
after last night, I will never be able to eat it again without it coming from straight mushrooms.
Yeah, we were at a family tonight.
And there's bacon in it too. When you make the mushroom gravy thing, she put like a pack of bacon in there. I was like, oh my god.
we were
I
at
was like,
Amber's,
eating out of the pan.
we were at Amber's family, and her cousin's wife made it, and I was like, that was really good, and she was like, that's like the easiest thing to make, and I was like, but she at least made it.
Yeah. Well,
A lot of people don't, but green bean casserole's pretty easy to make, but the one that gets fucked up, stuffing can go either way. If you want
it's gross.
I like stuffing if it's a little crispy. Basically just stovetop.
My wife makes the cornbread stuffing, and
I heard she fucked the biscuits up this year.
she did.
She was pretty sad about it.
We were all sad about it.
Yeah.
So, she lost her recipe for the rolls. I don't know what she
That's
did
what
with
she
it.
was saying. She was pretty sad about it. I
The
talked to her
rolls
last night.
are, really good. And the ones the recipe she found, they were pretty
Not solid?
They're definitely solid. Like,
Because I think we had them last year. Siri wants to know what's going on with them too.
I guess so. Find that recipe.
Yeah, what Tanner and I did. Well, I think Matt did a turkey too, but Matt also did a prime rib.
Yeah, that turned out really good. I also tried to. I've heard it called different things, but I tried to like French it. Not with my tongue, but
Oh man, he beat me to it. Fuck.
yeah, I was
Taking a drink.
waiting to see where this was going.
yeah. But so like when you have, so it's almost like a short tomahawk cut.
Okay.
So where you normally get your standing rib roast that has the bones on it, you cut kind of that bottom piece of what would, if you're looking at like a ribeye steak, there's that bottom piece that's mostly a lot of fat but a little bit of meat in there. You essentially on the roast you cut that piece off, and then it gives you some of the rib plate left. Cut the meat out from between the rib plate, so then when it's standing upright, you have like the pretty bones that stick up, so it's a little more decorative. It did not look like.
Did you take a picture of it?
No, it looked like a third grader did it. it was a little rough around the edges. And I was talking to Brett earlier, and the reason that it didn't look quite as cool was that I could not figure out how to use butcher twine to because so when you have it cut like that, I also cut the entire rib plate off, so you separate the rib plate from the roast itself, then you can season the entire roast, put it back together, and then tie it up. And I've never tried to make the ties look pretty before. So I'm just and throw on butcher twine and call it good. But this time I was like, all right, so if we got the French ends, I want to make the presentation cool. And again, it looked like a drunk third grader tied the butcher twine on there. So it was not quite lined up and a little cockeyed on there. And I was like, well, you can see what I was trying for.
The nice thing about butcher twine though is you can't buy anything under 1,000-foot spool of it.
Right.
You can't just buy I just need 3 feet for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's
so
here you
those
go.
big spools that you see on the back of trucks for wire. I have one of those in my backyard.
Yeah.
That's just butcher twine now.
Yeah, I have one in our cabinet that I'll have for the rest of my eternity.
I also have
He'll
a
pass it down.
roast.
Yeah.
What is it? Yes, I'd like 3,000 feet of butcher twine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the stuff that Cure uses, which is where I've got things before that were twined up, their butcher twine has a little bit of a stretch to it. So I don't know if maybe that's just because it was soggy or something, but but it has almost a little elasticy stretch to it. I don't know. But either way, when I retied this one, it did not look like the pictures. It still tasted great.
That's what really matters.
Yeah, that was the important part.
Yeah.
What'd you smoke it on?
I smoked it on the Timberline XL, and I did oak pellets
Ooh, you went a little stronger than
for
with
the
oak.
majority of it. I was going to use those plum pellets, but apparently the bag got wet at some point, and so when I went to dump the
sawdust?
yeah, it was just this crumbled, gross. I was like, fuck, man! And so I tossed that.
I left a bag out one time and picked it up. It goes to sawdust real quick.
Yeah. So I started with oak, but I knew I didn't have enough to finish. So then I think I dumped in. I think it was cherry is what I had left.
What was the meat temp when you changed pellets?
Oh, I don't know. Probably. I bet it probably switched over at about 100.
Oh, Because it was after like 165, meat doesn't really take smoke
Yeah.
anymore
So
anyway.
well, yeah, but this was on the rib roast. So like that prime rib didn't get above. I pulled it at 120 because I pulled it at 120 and then I had the grill on.
Oh, you
and then
did
I threw
reverse
it
sear?
down and then reverse seared it.
Like 2 minutes each side or what?
Yeah, I ended up doing like 30 seconds each side because the outside was so fatty and delicious that like it started to just like melt and slough off the roast.
Oh,
So I was
wow.
like, oh shit.
Have you seen Snake River Farms has that one that has, it's like the tomahawk one that's uncut. It has the huge tomahawk bone sticking out of it. It's like $800.
Yes. So that's what I asked.
Have you
Kira.
got it?
No, I saw it
That's-
and I was like, I bet that's super fucking good. But
I asked
$800
Kira if
for it.
if they could do that, and they're like, yeah, we can do that, but it's gonna be like an extra $5 to $8 a pound to have it done like that because it's a lot of extra work to keep all that bone on there, and then all the meat that they cut out from in between, they'd end up just having to put it into ground.
Oh man, then
and
they
stuff.
sell
So
that
it's
ground. I
a-
bet
yeah,
they're
so it's-
disappointed.
Right, but it's a from what you could get from a price per pound,
Oh sure.
like if you would cut it and trim it normally, versus all the waste that they'd have. It would be just astronomically expensive, at least for them.
I've seen that tomahawk too, where they drill a hole in the end and they take like a green egg and they hang it from the top down in the green egg, or they'll do it in the drums, the drum smokers, and just hang it by the bone.
I've never done a tomahawk before.
I've eaten one, but I've never cooked one.
Yeah, I've eaten one too, but I've never actually cooked one.
I've done a couple of them. The first one I did was just a charred mess because you're trying to get the internal temp up to something, but it's a steak, and so you want it to be like hot and fast, but you can't because it's like a fucking roast on a steak.
Yeah.
And so you're going back and forth trying to get it to go to like get the internal temp where you want it. And so the first one was not very good. The other two were really good. They didn't look as pretty because I just like, it was literally like every minute and a half. I just kept turning it
You
over.
have to.
Yeah, so it didn't just get all fucked up on the outside. And those turned out really good.
I think that's what I did. Like Cosmos, his recipe when he won steak, that he does like a minute and a quarter or minute and a half, and then he like turns it to get your cross hatches. Another minute and a half, then he turns it over, and that's just like with his. He has one of those PK aluminum grills that get like infinitely hot, and he just runs it like wide open, and it's basically like 6 minutes and it's done. But that's also like depends on how thick you're.
It's not a tomahawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to do it again, but smoke them first to like get up to close to that temperature and then sear the outside. Like I'll try that sometime.
What'd you season it with?
I seasoned it with just black pepper and then the SPG and then finished it off with the Meat Church Holy Cow.
I like the Meat Church better than Malcolm's AP. For stuff like that,
Yeah, I like
it's chunkier.
the SPG that I think you had turned me on to. Was that Malcolm's?
That's Cosmos.
The Cosmos. So I really like that one because it has some bigger chunks in it, and I like the overall flavor profile. But the Holy Cow from Meat Church has a lot of that same, but it's finer, and like that paprika, the redness in there, like adds kind of a cool color to it when it gets all said and done. But I would say it was like maybe 25% that, 50% SPG, and then a little bit of the coarse ground pepper.
Did you season your turkey as you went? Did you add to it?
I just did. I season aggressively when I season
I do too.
in general. Have you guys seen the theory where you like you should put the chunkier seasoning on 1st, so it doesn't.
I haven't tried
It
it
doesn't
that
like
way. I've just-
bounce off of the other seasonings.
I've just done it that way, and so I don't know. Like,
I mean, it kind of makes sense because you're putting
Yeah.
more layers. Because the first layer is going to start to absorb all the moisture that's going to hold the chunks on. So if you put the chunkier one on first, the moisture of the meat should pull it first, and then.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
The turkey we did was a maple bourbon turkey. So like in the brine, I used Meat Church. I think it's Bird Baptism is their brine
yep.
mix. Use that.
Was that good?
It was really good. But to be fair, I haven't used just that brine because I used that brine and then roughly a cup of maple syrup and then a cup of bourbon and put it in there and stir it all together. And then I glaze it with butter and maple syrup.
did you heat it up first?
The glaze?
Bird baptism.
Yes.
I was talking to a
I
client
don't
of
know if
mine.
it
Does
really
she-
does anything.
You're supposed to just heat it up a little bit to help everything dissolve, right?
So I was talking to a client of mine. It's like a food scientist, and she was like, "You could just stir it aggressively, and it'll still break down. Like you don't have to heat it up. You're just trying to get the salt to break down." So I just like stir mine very aggressively.
Yeah.
I just find it weird to like get this turn the stove on to warm up some shit that you're gonna.
And then you have to like cool all the
Let
way
it cool
back
all the
down.
way back down
Yeah.
to room temp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I basted it in butter, I added seasoning.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
I
freaking
did not
good.
do that. That'd be I think that'd be good. 'Cause, like, I found using this with the glaze, it cools down on the turkey, and then when you're trying to get stuff to set, like if you touch it, it just goes and just smears.
So you
over
had the bourbon and the maple syrup in your brine.
in the brine. Yep.
Does that settle?
I don't think so. I open the lid and I just kind of stir things around. I don't know.
Yeah.
A couple times a day. But
I still think my favorite way to do turkey is to fry it. Because I've smoked turkeys, I've done the oven turkeys, but when you fry it, I don't know.
Did you fry a turkey this year?
I did not fry one this year, but
I want to
have
try
in
a
the
smoke a
past.
fried. I was telling Amber that where they smoke it to whatever temp and then they drop it in the fryer for a little while.
ooh.
I think that could be good, but I don't know if
I'm
if your house
pretty-
starts on fire after that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
If I do that, I want a long
I wanna
piece
do
of
it at your
pipe and have
house.
like another person help me drop it in just in case it fucking blows up.
Yeah, like I've seen too many videos where people
Right.
fried turkeys and like,
There could be like zero moisture on them, from what I understand.
yeah.
Have you never fried one before?
Fuck.
I've done it a couple times, and
I've had fried.
it is pretty nerve wracking because you're holding it up, you're looking inside of it. All right, I think we're good. Give me some more paper towels, stuff some paper towels, and then make sure it's good. And then when you go to put it in, you're
Well, also isn't some of that too? Like you can have some moisture, but if you drop it in like ultra slow,
you
it's
gotta
supposed to.
you got to turn the heat off and drop it in real slow and
Yeah, because I know
Yeah.
people just like dive bomb it in there
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
fucking their houses on
light
fire.
their deck on fire and
Yep.
If I do one, I'll probably just do it in the street.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
too. 'Cause I want to get one of those
do it at
things
a
anyway.
friend's house.
I want to get one of those
That'd be
things
the
anyway because I want to do. We talked about it. A crawfish thing. Do a crawfish.
Big old
Oh,
shark
I
boil.
have
I have a
one.
big-
I have the biggest goddamn thing that I'll never use again in my life. If you need a crawfish boil,
Keep
you
it for
can
the
feed.
crawfish or frying a turkey. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I have it. I mean, you can feed like I don't know, somewhere around 270 people with it.
Which is also the same size as Tanner's family.
We did a crawfish boil, and I pulled this thing out. And I'm like, what the fuck am I feeding here?
Did you get the crawfish from New Orleans so you can get the fresh ones?
Yeah.
they come in live.
Yep.
So you guys didn't catch those yourself then either?
No. Didn't.
God damn it. It's just a letdown after
But we
letdown here.
threw we threw mussels in there too. You just throw them at the end. Yeah, it's freaking good.
You did the corn and the carrots and all
Yep.
that stuff. And taters.
Yeah, so like when you do it, you just like do the things that cook. I mean, it's just like you just keep adding to it.
Yeah.
It's freaking good. And then I just dumped it all in a cooler.
I don't know how to eat crawfish, though. I've never done it.
Stuck
you
the head out.
Did you clean them all first, or you put them in the water and you let them?
I was not in charge of that.
Oh,
'Cause, like,
The
put 'em-
woman of the house is.
put them in clean water and like let them filter itself out
yeah.
a
You're
little
supposed
bit.
to like put them in a cooler and run water through them and let because they're dirty,
They're the
obviously.
filter feeders.
Yeah. So
Nicole prepped it all.
oh,
I just put it. I just put it in the bucket.
Should have taken her truck to go
yeah,
get the bucket.
I went and picked up everything in the truck.
I've been driving the truck quite a bit lately. Feeling pretty manly
Ooh.
about it. Yeah.
Should let you move the seat to where it
Oh, yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can touch the pedals.
Do you have a
and
do
everything.
you have a memory button?
No,
No,
hers is
he
a little bit
doesn't
older.
drive
There's
it
no
that
memory, but
Chris, what'd you make? A ham?
Yeah, ham's pretty lazy though. You know, it doesn't. If you smoke a ham, it's not like it's already. It's unless you're smoking one that's not pre-cooked. But mine was pre-cooked, so you just throw it in there.
We got to put a good
Whatever.
glaze on it or some seasoning.
Oh
on it.
yeah, some sugar in the raw and some maple syrup.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty simple.
Big old spiral ham.
Yeah, just cook it for 2.5 hours, then pull it back out, baste it with some maple syrup, and then put that chunky sugar on there. It turned out really nice. It had a nice crisp skin. It was really good.
Just did a whole or a half?
Just a half. We didn't have 270 people there like Tanner's house, so we just did a half. I think we had more sides than anything though, which is the most important part to me at Thanksgiving. I'm all about the sides. The
I
mashed
want the meat
potatoes.
sweats.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge turkey fan either.
No.
So
I'm not either. But I
only like smoked turkey. That's about the only turkey I
It was
like.
good. Like I would eat a smoked turkey. Like I might do it again. Like
Yeah.
before Thanksgiving. Can you buy a turkey if it's not Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah.
I saw
don't
those
think I ever
chickens.
have.
I saw those chickens from
don't-
you. I should probably do those sooner than later.
Are you? I was gonna
They'll stay
spatchcock
frozen. They won't go
it.
anywhere.
It's already halved. The one that Matt gave me, they already halved.
Oh, I was gonna spatchcock a chicken.
You can do it.
Yeah. Let's see why not.
Do you have chickens at your house right now?
Now I'm gonna go to Matt's house.
Oh, well,
you didn't chase it down yourself.
Yep.
that's like a training for some fighters.
Right.
Rocky. Catch the chicken.
I tried to watch Sly his documentary.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I struggled. I made it like 15, 20 minutes in, and I was
Really?
like, I can't.
Stallone's actually a pretty interesting dude.
I guess the story wasn't. I don't know what something about the film. I don't know. I just was
Like no one would hire him, so he made his own
Yeah.
movie. All of his those blockbusters are like,
Have you watched Rocky, the first Rocky?
yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
I watch it
haven't watched it in a
once a
long time.
year.
Yeah, it's just
Especially if you
all
look
those
at
movies.
like that Star Wars came out at like the same time, and
Yeah.
people were like, Rocky was great, man. I'm like, dude, fucking Star Wars came out like the same year.
Dude, Rocky was so bad. It was
Hey,
like I went back to
love that
rewatching.
movie.
I'm like,
But
like
it-
Rocky 4, I can
No,
watch
I-
again.
Rocky 1, I love.
But you gotta
because we're
remember, Rocky is
kicking
like-
Russians' ass.
Rocky is like the story of the underdog, but it's also like it was literally Stallone's life. Like no one would hire him to do
Yeah.
movies because they thought
Oh,
like
you never came over to my house before. What, my house stink? That's
Probably-
right, it stinks.
probably because he had that
The whole
fucking
place stinks.
he had that fucking turtle in there. Turtles stink, dude.
That was it was just
like
so
a great
bad. Like I'm
movie.
watching. I'm like, what the hell? Why did I watch this movie?
Well, you're not watching it for the cinematography. You're watching
No
it for the
shit,
story.
obviously.
You're watching it for the story. It's filmed
But
in
his
the shitty
acting
part
is
of Phil-
terrible.
Shitty part of Philadelphia.
Like it's just.
you know?
I mean,
I didn't know that his face like that. He has like when he was born, he's got like partial paralysis in his face. That's why his face is like that.
yeah.
But both he and his brother have the same like square shaped
Frank?
mouth. Yeah. Yeah, their mouths are shaped the exact.
Have you?
same.
I just like that his entire house is just shrine to him. There's just movie props, and he's got like remakes of his head everywhere, like in Rambo and Rocky, and then he has the Rocky one where he's got like the tampons shoved up his nose, like, and then he has like that giant statue in his office.
And by his pool?
Yeah, I think there was like a rumor. I think Adele bought that house, and part of the deal was that he had to leave that Rocky statue by his pool.
Fair.
But that was an interesting documentary, though. He's pretty good.
I'll give it a shot again. I mean, I
The
figured it'd
Creed
be
movies are good. Have you seen the new Creed movies?
Yeah, right. But it's just the same thing. It's like the new Star Wars movies. It's like the same fucking movie.
I thought they did a
every day.
pretty good job. Well, yeah, but I love the training montages and the fight movies.
If they still had the old guy, Mick,
Yeah.
who was also great in Grumpy Old Men, if people didn't put that together, they're the same people.
Come on, I want to lay ya.
Best fight movie ever though is
He's taking the
Warrior.
old skin boat to Tuna Town.
Have you seen Warrior?
That's with Christian Bale, isn't it?
No, it's with Tom Hardy and
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Why
Tom
does
Hardy.
everyone? I don't have that. And this is a real question. Why did everybody think Tom Hardy's like such a badass?
I don't know. He's good in that movie though.
But everybody like just because he played Bane, wasn't he Bane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, Tom Hardy's like the fucking baddest dude alive, and I was
he's
like,
a purple belt in jiu-jitsu
He
too.
just won a jiu-jitsu tournament.
so
Yeah,
did,
it was a blue
so
belt,
did
I
Mark
think.
Zuckerberg. That doesn't say a lot to me.
I like Tom Hardy.
No, I
thought
don't dislike him,
That
but people
movie
just
he
like-
did with where I can't think of the name of it right now. Where he plays himself. Plays two parts, like his brother.
Oh, that's a
does,
mob movie, isn't it, or
does-
something?
It's like a British mob movie, yeah. And he did a really good job in that movie. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, but Warrior is like a Grand Prix fight. Like you fight, and then if you win, it's like an 8-man bracket. You fight again, like
the old school.
Yeah.
old school
Like Pride.
UFC.
Yeah, it
UFC.
was. Yeah, but it was good. It's probably the best fight movie out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Chris thinks no.
The fight scenes in there are good.
Bloodsport.
Oh, dude. The Kumite? Come on now.
Oh, dude.
Okay, USA.
I mean, Bloodsport is good, but
That's the best fight movie. That's a real pickle to put up there.
no, I
Research out the character that he was playing, the Frank whatever.
Frank Dukes?
Yeah. And did he? I can't remember. Did they actually were able to verify that he did? Actually fought.
I
in
think
some
it
of that
was
stuff?
all bullshit.
I thought
I
like
think it's all bullshit.
He claims
It was
credit
in a
for all
movie. It
this
has to
stuff,
be true.
And then like they found out that he actually didn't do.
He's like Steven Seagal, like not really a
Whoa.
Well,
Steven
Steven
Seagal
Seagal
helped Anderson
used to be
Silva win
dangerous.
a
used to
UFC
be
championship.
dangerous. Yeah, as long as he pays the guys that are doing his workshops enough to where they fall down when he touches them, right?
Hey, the guy's an honorary sheriff deputy, okay?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Chris is over there talking shit about Steven Seagal.
Yeah, next thing you know, he's going to say something about Chuck Norris.
No, I
can't.
love me some Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris is
So,
like a legitimate badass, though.
Yeah, he used to do like the karate fighting when it was real.
Dude, when he's
real
in the
fights and you could, like,
Expendables,
hit people.
That when he's in the Expendables
Just
and
makes
everybody just dies and Chuck Norris comes walking around the corner
With a
He-
revolver.
and he
just has
talks
a
about
revolver.
getting bit by a cobra. What was that? After 8 agonizing days, the cobra died.
makes
I'll
Chuck
still
Norris
watch some of
joke.
his old movies.
Delta Force.
What was the one where I can't think of the name of it right now? They invade Florida, and he's like Rostov. it's time to die. Every time. You come in this room one more time, I'm going to hit you with so many lefts, you're going to be begging for a right.
Oh, man. Fucking Chuck Norris.
Yeah, the funny thing is he's like 5'4". You know, I mean, I think he's like a little guy. I don't know. He might be a little taller than that, but he's not very big.
Yeah, and then he eliminates him on dodgeball.
Yeah.
Fucking Chuck Norris.
Well, he did do I watched something with him where he was obviously a black belt in karate. And then he won some championships in the 70s. And then he said he went to Brazil and he was like talking about, I was hearing all about this jiu-jitsu stuff. And he goes, next thing you know, and one of the guys goes, oh yeah, here, I'll show you some things. And he goes, I wake up later. And I'm like, I think I need to come down and learn how to do some of this. This is crazy. He's like, I couldn't get this little 100-pound man off me. And I've been fighting for 20 years or something, you know?
Don't forget about Walker, Texas Ranger either.
Yeah. Walker, Texas Ranger.
When the eyes of the Ranger are upon you, that's where the Ranger's going to be.
What about Lone Wolf McQuaid? Come on now.
That's going way back.
Yeah. I think he was a Texas Ranger in that movie, maybe.
Speaking of action
Is
heroes,
he an honorary Texas Ranger? He should be.
He should be. He basically solved all the
I don't
crimes.
know if
in
this
the
is, I don't know if
fucking
this is
90s.
true or not, but I heard he went on some like raids with the Texas Rangers. And I don't know if this story is true or not, but I heard this story a long time ago that it probably is false. That he was on a raid with the Texas Rangers and they had these guys, you know, cuffed up, and the one guy says to his buddy, he's like, dude, that's fucking Chuck Norris. And obviously they get like a drug raid or something, you know. I hope that story's true, because if it is, that's awesome.
Yeah. Dude, how about like Bruce Willis? Can't even talk now. Fucking
Man,
action hero.
so
Oh,
sad.
poor guy.
Dude,
Yeah.
Dude, that guy made so many
that'd be
good
terrible.
movies. I mean, it's almost fucking Christmas time for Die Hard.
Come out to the coast, we'll have a few laughs. Yeah.
The whole 9 yards is also very underrated if you haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the whole 9 yards and the whole 10 yards,
Hmm.
great movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really drifted away from Thanksgiving.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Does anybody disagree with that?
I did not know that was fucking Carl Winslow. I always forget about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking Carl Winslow's out there saving the plaza.
He's saving the plaza. Who taught this guy how to drive? He's pulling the lot.
Fucking.
He
jeez.
throws that dead body on the hood. Welcome to the party, pal. He's buying Twinkies. Yeah.
That MP5 they have in there is awesome too. That's a little snub nose one, isn't it? I think it's the same one I have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first time I think an Og was ever in a movie too.
The short bow. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. It was when the bad guy had the.
It was the
Og.
Russians too again, wasn't it?
No, they're like
Russians?
German or
Were they
something.
Germans?
They're German, something like
Austrians.
They're all the same.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay, just grouping them together over here. Well, everybody have a good Thanksgiving overall, though.
Should we talk about Nebraska losing again?
Is it really a surprise that they lost?
It was the most Nebraska thing I have ever seen. Like, I'm watching it. I'm like, of course you intercept it. You look like you're going to win. And then you throw another one.
Every time.
I mean,
oh my God.
Disappointing.
It looks like
heart-wrenching.
point shaving when you watch them play.
How can this? I just can't wrap my mind around it. Every time I'm like, oh man, we're fine. Nope. I don't know why I thought we were going to win this.
Dude, I saw last
So-
week Vegas has 10-1 odds that Rule gets fired this year.
Not
Not a
It's
chance.
not going to happen.
I'm just saying Vegas has 10-1 odds. I'm
I'll
not saying
bet
he's
you-
going to.
But like, what did it come out with? Because I think isn't that
There's
those are
not
like
a
the
chance.
real odds, right? When the first time that the lines come out for anything are like the actual odds that they think, and then depending on how people bet, the line shifts up or down, so they don't get like all.
Well, how do they even get 10-1? That's what I'm saying. That's weird. Why isn't it like 1,000-1 odds?
10 to 1's not that.
Because like if it gets good enough odds, you're going to get people that are going to start betting on it because they're like, well,
If it's
sure.
1,000 to 1, you have people who just throw money on
Yeah,
it.
you
so
just
they
throw
lose
some
out.
money on it because like maybe I'll put $10 on it and see what happens. But you get enough people to do it, they're like, oh shit, we got to.
And there's rumor the defensive coordinator might leave.
Well, he'll probably go get a head coaching job somewhere because our defense is pretty freaking good.
Yeah. I don't know. I personally, I don't know. I don't see Rule being the answer, but that's just me being an asshole. But I don't think he's the guy.
He will be.
I don't know who the
Next
guy
year.
is because there's no more guys to get because Nebraska now has set a standard of every 3 to 4 years we fire our coach and hire someone else.
He'll be good.
That's the Nebraska quote now. Next year.
Well,
We'll be good next year.
If you're a Cubs fan, it was always it's next year. You have to. That's what you have to do.
I mean-
if you're a Cowboys fan, you're going to win a playoff game next year.
I mean, there's always
You know?
the overall reality that Nebraska may never win another national championship.
We got 5, so
No, I'm not saying that they don't have like a
How'd
legacy.
Colorado
Of,
win?
that's still 5 more than Iowa.
they lost 6 straight games.
And they
Right.
didn't do very well.
They finished.
I remember at the beginning of the
5 and 6.
season, like there was all the talk about, oh, so you can come in, you can turn a program around
Nope.
like, right away and do all this stuff. And then Colorado's like, womp,
And I'm a primetime fan from when he played, but
yeah.
the hard part is he did all that and everybody was excited, but now he's lost so many. Your recruiting is going to be terrible next year because you didn't really prove your point.
But just
Well, I mean, they were worse last year.
Yeah, but when you bring in 70 new players and say this is how things are going to be done,
it's not.
then you didn't prove it.
I will say I was watching the Auburn-Alabama game last night.
Auburn should have won that game. They shit that game down their leg.
It was 4th and 30, or 4th and goal from the 30. And he threw a touchdown pass to win the game. I was like, as a Nebraska fan, I can feel your pain.
It was a great toss up to the corner too. Like
Yeah.
just a great spot.
There's
Good
got to be so
positioning.
many great plays that people have done over the past few years to beat Nebraska. Because I don't know how many times I've been watching. I'm like, man, we got this one. Oh, then all of a sudden something miraculous happens for the other team. I'm like, man,
By miraculous, you mean that Nebraska turns the ball over to
yeah,
them?
shits the bed.
Well, like Michigan State last year, was it last year? They didn't get a first down in the second half and we still lost? Or 2 years ago?
If,
Yeah,
there's if there's a way for us to figure out how to lose it, we'll find it.
Yeah.
We'll find it.
But I bet that $150 million practice facility they built is really going to draw them in.
You know what? I will bet you that Nebraska turns it around next year. I'll bet you
What
right
turns
now.
it around? 600? Like they're
No,
500
seven and 5 or better next year.
We got in this argument one day, but Matt Rule didn't really turn around both those teams.
Yeah, he did.
He did not.
You're full
Baylor
of shit.
Baylor had did Norman not look him up? Baylor had one bad year when they got the death penalty, and they were already kind of on their way back. Temple sucks anyway.
Temple ended up being
And
a
now
pretty
let's
decent
compare
team.
him to
He
Frost.
did kind of ruin the Panthers.
When Frost,
Well, the Panthers-
NFL to
Yeah.
college is different.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is different.
But now look at Frost went to UCF, turned him around, and UCF was still pretty good for a couple of years.
Because they had
and
Heupel.
Baylor and Temple are both shit after he left. So he obviously didn't build any longevity in the program.
He'll be fine.
I'm just saying. I also think that Scott Frost, if he would not have come to Nebraska and hung out with his old high school or college friends, he would have been successful.
I don't know.
I think if he went to like Arizona or somewhere he talked, I think Frost would have been successful there.
Frost can't have. Frost is a front runner. He just can't have that much pressure on him.
I mean,
You could tell, like all of his teams, their buttholes puckered whenever it got tight. It was a lot of butthole puckering.
and UCF beat Auburn.
yeah,
In
in a
Auburn.
bowl game that no one gave a fuck about besides
most of
UCF.
Here's the
you
thing:
could
is-
just see the life. You could just see the life leaving him the longer he was here, though. When he
Yeah.
first got here, he's all end of the first season. He's kind of you can just kind of see him start by the time right before they fired
hangover.
him. He's just like
no bowl game matters if you're not playing for the national championship.
Right.
Like Iowa going, what are they, 11-2, or they end up finishing
10-2.
10-2, whatever it was. They're fucking terrible anyway. They're gonna get wrecked by fucking Michigan.
Dude, Michigan looks like a freaking football team.
Michigan is
And-
gonna do so many vile things to Iowa that they're gonna wish that they didn't make it there.
And Ohio State's now lost 3 straight times to Michigan. And they didn't even lose against Harbaugh this time. They lost against the guy who was filling in for Harbaugh. because Harbaugh's
Harbaugh
been
was in his
cheating.
earpiece. Harbaugh had to be watching.
No,
somewhere.
they wouldn't do that.
Harbaugh doesn't cheat. Oh, no. He's been suspended 6 games
But
for
I
2
don't-
different cheating events.
But no,
this year.
I don't think that's illegal. I think you can have communication. He just can't be on the
can't.
sideline.
Nah.
No communication.
Oh yeah, they're gonna stop that. Just like you're not supposed to bet on sports, and the Iowa players are betting in the fucking locker room.
That's fine.
As long as
Why
you
would
bet on you, I don't care.
Yeah, if you're betting on you winning, fine.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
don't
even
think there's a
worse.
problem with that either. What?
Why?
You betting on you winning?
Someone said that the
If
new
you bet
fucking
on you
casino.
losing, that's bad. If you
Yeah.
bet on you winning, I don't see a problem with it.
Well, someone said on that new casino here in Omaha they're doing the
Yeah.
something horse
Yeah. Warhorse.
war horse. You can start betting games, but you can't bet Nebraska home games.
No, you cannot bet on any Nebraska. You can't
That's
bet
what I'm
on.
saying. So no player should be able to bet on the game either, win or lose.
You
Like
can't. Well,
you don't let
so-
people bet on it.
So the whole thing about the Nebraska, so
Why
when
can't you bet on home games?
well, when Nebraska passed the gaming, the chance gaming, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like you could play table games. They accidentally it was games of chance. The people who, as I heard it, basically that ran that through, sports gaming in Nebraska is classified as games of chance. They didn't talk about that. They let that one kind of slide because they knew it wasn't going to pass if you could bet on sport gaming.
Yeah.
So I think as like a little like compromise, they said you can't you can't bet on any Nebraska home game or like Creighton or UNO if they're playing in the state of Nebraska. You can't bet on that game.
They think you're going to pay the players or what?
I think it was a compromise because I don't think they were trying to pass sports gaming in Nebraska when they passed the law 2 years ago.
Just stupid. Everybody just drives to the edge of the city and bets anyway. So.
Yeah, they just go over there and get on Iowa.
Yeah, and bet. That's stupid. Whatever. But whatever. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, no, Nebraska.
Nebraska will be 7-5 or better next year.
Nebraska.
I'll bet you $100 right now.
They can change their slogan to "Go Big Red" maybe next year.
Are you taking me on that bet, Brett?
That they're going to be better than this year?
7-5 or better next year. I'll bet you $100
right now.
7-5. You anybody else want to get in on this deal?
I'll bet everyone here. Anyone who wants to bet $100, I'll bet it.
7-5.
I don't want to bet against. I like that team too much to where I will not bet against.
I am obviously a Nebraska fan, but
I won't. You know what I mean? I just can't bet for them to play shit.
I obviously like Nebraska, and I'm going to say it out loud, and everybody else thinks it. That until Tom Osborne is not involved with the university anymore, they will be like this because they still run everything past Tom Osborne. Before the game is windy. They're like, yeah, Rule was talking to Osborne about the wind. What? What about the wind are you talking about?
Well, I think it swirls in the stadium.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, T.O. is obviously a legend, and no one's ever going to take that away from him. I got respect for that guy.
There's more of a stadium now than there was when he was there. He coached there, so probably swirls differently.
Maybe it swirls
I'm
differently.
just saying that everyone looks to Tom, and I think to an extent, Tom's probably tired of being asked. Like, everyone looks to him to basically still direct the football program.
I don't
Leave
think
him alone. The guy's like 1,000,000 years old.
I don't think Rule's looking at him to direct the football program. I think it's just a respect thing.
Any major decision gets ran past him.
Bullshit.
Okay.
I'm calling bullshit on that one.
You can call it all you want to.
You just wait until
next year. I would love to see Nebraska.
Taking the bet then?
I'll take it. I'm not even betting against Nebraska. I'm just betting that Rule's not the guy.
Rule is the guy.
So by saying Rule's not the guy, then you think they're going to do worse than 7-5?
I don't think they'll get better.
Even with that schedule.
Did you see our schedule this year? We didn't play Ohio State, and we got throttled by Michigan.
Well,
and we
Michigan
lost.
Michigan's a good team.
No, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I mean, I
think USC, even on a bad day, is still better than Nebraska.
I think USC is going to have a hard time next year without Caleb Williams and
he kind of played like shit at the end of the season.
And going into a new conference, I think they're going to have a hard freaking time.
And you got UCLA and Oregon. Well, they're not playing Oregon next year. They're playing UCLA and USC back to back, by the way.
Yeah, one's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memorial Stadium doesn't hold any lure of winning home games anymore.
So is this like an official bet now?
I think Brett's angry because he's been going down to these games for so long, buying season tickets, and then
I was too. And that's why we gave ours up. We used to keep them because we could go to games, but you could pick one like good game, sell those tickets, and make up like a decent chunk of like the face value of it. And so I was like, all right, cool, because I didn't. And then we would give tickets to people because like I like to go to a couple games, but I was like didn't want to go down all the time. But then it was like, okay, I could sell my tickets, but if face value was like $55 or whatever it was, like maybe you get 30. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah, I'm not sour on the kids. I think all those kids playing is great. Like I think it's a chance for some of these kids to go and make a lot of money, and they're probably making some money now. I think the university has been able to command money for so long for season tickets. I think they don't really give a fuck about the fans.
No, I mean
I think Trev's turning that around, which is why the stadium's being redone, South's being redone.
But
they're
why?
adding.
I mean, outside of spreading the seats out, what?
They're updating all. They're updating the concourse so you can make it from all the way around.
But are they giving more students?
Updating
seats?
Bathrooms. They're moving the student section. I think it's going to be in the end zone.
I don't think they can give more seats because they're getting rid of seats. You got season ticket holders. You got to give.
Well, so, yeah, that's what I was asking because that's what. Like,
I don't think they're expanding the student section.
Like if you go to Wisconsin,
no, they're moving it, but I think they're combining the student section into one area instead of splitting them in south in between.
But what Matt's saying is like there's some of these stadiums that have like 40,000 students there.
Right. Like if you go to Wisconsin, like I think it's their whole north end zone section is just all students, and it's super fucking fun. I've been there a couple times and we got throttled each time. And
Wisconsin fans are the worst fans.
I had the best experience up there. They were great.
They're fucking terrible.
I got some stories about Wisconsin fans.
But,
I used to go to the games all the time.
Amber and I were watching we watched the Arkansas game. Part of that.
Maybe it's the traveling Wisconsin fans.
And the stands were like empty. And Amber's like, God, that sucks. I was like, if Nebraska wasn't the only state school and we're still playing this bad, the stands would be empty at Memorial Stadium too.
If there was something else going on in Nebraska, if we had
A pro team that was not 2.5 hours away on the same day.
yeah, it would probably be really rough for them.
I love the Huskers. I want them to win. I want these kids to win. But I don't know. There's so much money involved at Nebraska that they put in the wrong places. Instead of a $150 million practice facility, why don't you spend $150 million on players?
They can't.
Why?
Because NIL is through independent businesses.
Where are they getting that money from? Independent donors. So you don't think there's any backdoor conversations? Hey, man, instead of giving all this money to the school, why don't you fucking go buy this fucking 5-star kid out of Texas? The Pony Express already happened once.
I think people have this like misguided thing about NIL. I don't think there's all these people making millions of dollars.
I think
That-
some people
you
are
have a
making-
handful.
some
You
people
have a
are making millions
handful
of dollars.
Yes, you have a handful of
But still,
people
but
making it, but you don't
fighting
have
over those kids.
It doesn't
is
have
what
to be
the
$1 million.
problem is.
They're paying that fucking Sims kid $150,000
Amigos is.
to not hold on to the ball.
Well, when you order your food from Amigos on the Sim special, you have to give it back when you get through the drive-through.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm just saying, I think Nebraska could do some things to get better kids up here.
I don't know that we have I don't think we have a huge talent gap besides. I don't think we have a huge talent gap besides at like quarterback.
We got beat 45-10 by Michigan, and they had their third string in.
Yeah, Michigan's fucking Michigan. We're not Michigan.
What's the thing? What's so much better about going to play for Michigan than coming into Nebraska?
Well,
it's the
Harbaugh
same
has
shitty
built
weather.
Yeah, Harbaugh has built a freaking program. Plus,
It's
their
a-
alumni is
it's a
huge.
shit
They have
state.
more fucking money.
It's a
They
shitty
have.
state.
They're like one of the largest universities in the country.
But you think they have more donor money than Nebraska
Yes,
does?
I guarantee. Fucking
And what are they
kidding
doing?
you They do.
But exactly, where's the donor money going? They're buying players.
I don't think Michigan has to buy that many players because people want to go there
Yeah,
but why? Just because it's a big school? Is that the only reason?
They don't win national.
because they've been winning.
But when's their
We've
last
been
national
winning, and
championship?
Harbaugh's got connections.
They've been winning. They've been in the college football playoff now 3 years in a row after they fucking thump Iowa.
But now you said Harbaugh's got connections. It goes back to the coaching. I don't think Rule has the connections that Harbaugh does.
I don't know.
I still think we should have got Urban Meyer.
Fuck that.
I stand by that. Urban Meyer has won everywhere he's gone.
That's true. He had only been here 3 or 4 years though before some scandal happened.
That's fine.
And then-
Scandals are always where people win. Do you not remember the Nebraska of the 90s?
Yes, I do.
How many
There were
fucking
no
kids?
scandals because they kept that shit wrapped up.
No.
Not nearly. If
Except for Lawrence.
And Frost
contain
hiding in
that
the
guy.
closet.
Fucking, see, that's the thing about Frost. He was hiding in the closet then. That's the thing.
I'm just saying. I love the Nebraska team.
So, do we have this official bet?
Yep.
I do not understand why, if you are a top 5 recruit or whatever, your choices are Michigan and Nebraska. I just don't see why you would play for Michigan over Nebraska, other than the fact that you think that you're going to be able to go play pro ball somewhere afterwards, right? That's the only thing I think is a bigger draw.
I think it's
for
just
going to Mi-
I think it's just coaching, just like Nebraska in the '90s. Why would anyone come to Nebraska? Why do people come to Nebraska? Because Nebraska weather sucks. There's nothing here.
Same as Ohio State and Michigan.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Columbus is a little bit bigger, but yeah,
But it still sucks. I've been to Columbus.
yeah. I'm just saying it's all about coaching. It always is, and I think Rule is the coach. I think he's going to pull it around.
But why, when he went to Baylor and Temple, why did no one else pick him up? There were big coaching jobs open then.
I mean, he went to fucking Panthers. He went from Temple to Baylor. That's an upgrade. That's a step up. That's how you step up in coaching. Tony White is not going to go from here to Alabama. He's going to go to some Power 5 school or some Group of 5 school, most likely, or a low Power 5, and then he's going to work his way up. That's how all coaches do it.
It'll be interesting to see.
I also think the big part of Nebraska's success is that coaching staff was together for a long time in the 90s.
It's not gonna happen
That's
anymore.
unheard of now.
No.
Nobody stays at a team like that. Charlie McBride and those guys here for 30 years. That's not going to be a thing anymore.
No,
That
but I
doesn't
think
happen.
what Rule does is he, like, even when he was talking about White, he's like, I want my coaches to take better jobs. Go take a job. Just make sure it's the right job. And I think that's why he gets so, I mean, he has a lot of good assistant coaches,
See, I would try to get my defensive coordinator more money to stay because he's good.
but he wants to be a head coach.
Everybody says that until they aren't successful.
Yeah, a lot of people move one step, just like Bill Callahan. Bill Callahan is a great offensive line coach. Great offensive line coach. He just wasn't a head coach, but he's one of the best offensive line coaches ever. So a lot of people get promoted.
You can't say Bill Callahan and still talk about the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We've all forgotten about that. Okay.
He did get sued here.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. But no one talks about Bill Callahan.
No, I want the Huskers to be successful. I do. It is.
Yeah, well, if you want to be successful, then quit talking shit, or take my bet.
He did take the bet.
I did take the bet.
Okay,
And my
bet's
thing isn't
official?
even talking shit about the players. I just think that the organization at the university could be run better.
I think Trev has done a great job getting things back to being better. So far,
I don't know. I didn't.
So far, I think he's done a great
I
job.
also don't appreciate what Trev did at UNO.
I didn't like what he did.
It was a
at
money
UNO either.
decision. He had to get rid of the football program. He turned him into a freaking hockey school, which was and a basketball school. It was
They
better
already
for
had a
the
hockey team. Come on now.
I know, but it's better. They were better financially. Have you seen their campus?
What about the wrestling team?
It sucks. I don't think he did it correctly, but it wasn't making money.
But why did they have to get rid? It wasn't making money. They were like a national champion. Like back
They
in
still don't make money.
Wrestling doesn't make money.
It's just a cost.
Yeah.
All those things are just costs. The only thing that make money at UNO is going to be hockey and basketball. That's it. Just like the only thing that makes money at the University of Nebraska is football, basketball, and then women's volleyball. And women's volleyball is one of only 4 schools in the country that makes
I
money.
think I also read that the bowling team was self-sufficient. I don't know what the bowling cost
They're
is.
not
but
making money.
But no, they're not making money, but like
Yeah.
they can support themselves, which I thought was like a very strange. But I swear I
Well,
read
cool.
that.
They
over
can
years ago.
support. They can support
Like,
themselves.
they were
Because
good. It was-
the only reason you have the freaking women's rifle team is because you have
You
the
have
football,
football
team.
team. Right.
That's it.
But how long can you keep going with the donations where the football team supports everything? How long can you
That's
keep
like every
commanding?
major school.
You don't even really need the donations for the football team. It's freaking. Have you seen the Big Ten football contract? That's where they make the freaking money at. The donations are for extra shit.
Here's the other question: how many seats is the university buying to keep the sellout record going?
Well, those are from donors, and
Same thing.
And that's why
I
they're
think-
going back down.
It should go back down. That money should be going towards buying players instead of keeping some.
360 something. Is that where we're at now?
Nobody
No,
gives
it's
a
almost
shit.
400.
Nobody
We're like
gives a
too
shit.
shy of 400. But here,
Nobody
yeah,
gives a shit about that.
yeah.
They're
do.
gonna get to 400, and then it's gonna go away.
I bet it
No
doesn't.
way.
I bet you it does.
It's for every
At some
little
point.
kid that's at the game that gets to be part of a sellout game.
Yeah.
But I think
That's
the buying
what
players.
That's what I'll always remember.
I think-
I won't remember that we got the shit kicked out of us by 40 points. Oh, I was at the 397 sellout game that time we got the shit kicked out of us.
I just think that with the NIL, it is going to be more and more like the NFL and the Wild West out there. And if you don't get on board, you can start buying because it's not going to be any more of, hey, this is Nick Saban to play for Alabama. Yeah, no, Texas just called and offered me like fucking
A car
100
dealership,
like
so-
$100,000 to come there. So, and my mom lives
I
in a
think
fucking trailer, and I,
I
want to
think
get her out of
NIL.
it.
Well, first off, I think the NCAA fucked up NIL to begin with.
I think when they did the NIL, they should have gotten rid of the transfer portal.
Well, the whole thing about the NIL is that the only reason it came up is like if you went to the University of Nebraska on a violin scholarship, okay, you could do violin lessons on the side to make money. You could not, as a football player, do a football camp. You could not, as a volleyball player, do a volleyball camp. If they just would have kept things simple and just let them do what every other fucking student was doing, they would have been fine. But then they didn't.
Well,
So
that's it.
then
If
the
you don't fix the
NCAA shit
problem-
their fucking bed.
Yeah, that's the old, if you don't fix it, someone else
Yeah.
will fix it better.
And now, but I think they're going to revamp NIL and they're going to put some limits on it. But like the NIL money comes from independent businesses. They also want a return on their investment, which is why they're advertising. That's what it's there for.
But
And
the
I just,
independent businesses also the big donors at the universities. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, but I just don't think it's going to be. I still think you need a kid to want to go to your school. Like if you like, who was the kid, the Florida kid who was like got $5 million, and I don't even know if he played.
I don't know.
I know what you're. There's a bunch of that though.
Yeah. So
What, did
like, I think
USC have somebody that they paid a bunch of money to and he didn't play either.
I think you're going to see that, and NIL's going to fix itself with capitalism. They're going to realize, hey, this is a lot of fucking money. These kids haven't done shit yet. They're high school kids.
Well, I think, like I said, I think it needs to be like contractual agreements, like the NFL. You know what I mean? Like you're getting paid whatever some car dealership pays you to come to Lincoln to play. You should have to stay there.
But scholarships aren't contractual. Scholarships are 1-year contracts. That's it. You have 1 year every year.
I know, but
It's
they used
renewed
to have
annually.
to sit out a year if they transferred. I think they should go back to that.
Well, then you have to sit out on your second year. I think you should be able to transfer once for free. I don't see a problem with that. Coaches can get fired or quit and go somewhere else. They don't have to sit out a year.
Yeah, but they're adults.
Well, these kids are 18 or 19. They're adults too, ish.
But they're supposed to be there for school. Was always their argument.
They're not
So-
playing school.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Money's going to be bigger and bigger.
But they also, most of those kids aren't going to be in the NFL. So they're making a little bit of money.
That's what I'm saying. So they're going to
ends-
want to
yeah.
make their money now.
Yeah. But I think NIL comes in like the kid out in Utah does a football camp. And it was just like those little things that help like pay the bills while they can't have full-time jobs. Because if you're a D1 athlete at Nebraska, you're not having a full-time job most of the time.
Yeah, that's why I always thought kids they should have, when they could have, I think, prevented the whole NILs, just give these kids like per diems.
Per diems or just like, or let them have, I mean, be able to do, I don't have
Sign
a problem.
autographs and
Yes.
whatever, yeah.
I don't have a
think
problem
so,
with
too.
NIL with like doing autograph signings. I just think that some of these contracts are stupid, and I think they will fix themselves. But I don't think it's the answer. I don't think it's the answer to fixing your program is NIL money. I think the answer to fixing your program is getting your fucking shit together and having a good coaching staff.
So the reason we got on this subject is because the Husker football game is always the day after Thanksgiving. So it's a part of Thanksgiving.
It is.
And we have sucked now for...
Well, hey,
they
we
did
won
the Iowa
last year.
yeah. So, I mean... Yeah.
We made a turkey pot pie on Friday with leftover turkey. It was really good.
Oh, that's good.
We ate it during the game. It was enjoyable.
Was it more enjoyable than watching us throw an interception at the last second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can be a pissed off Husker fan and still be hopeful.
I'm obviously hopeful. I want them to be good.
Yeah.
I just, I'm more angry from these, and not just me, the season ticket holders' point of view, because you can walk to the stadium and buy cheaper tickets than you're paying for season tickets.
Yep.
And that's, to me, like your fan experience is not really being met there.
I think that with the South Stadium, I think they're trying to make the fan experience better, trying to like up their game.
I'm just saying, you're asking for money and donations, and you don't give those donors anything. That's what I'm saying. Like not even the fan experience. You just don't. There's no. Amber and I could pick a couple of games to go to and buy like the best seats in the stadium and still be cheaper than paying for season tickets.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're rolling the dice that you get to keep those tickets. Like if they came out and they were on fire this year, right? Then ticket price is going
When they start 7-0 next year,
right?
ticket price is going back up.
Right.
What I miss is when, during the Bill Callahan era, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but it seemed like Husker gear got way cheaper. You know, I really enjoyed that. I got to go to JCPenney and be like, man, they got hooded sweatshirts in here. Man, I love it when we suck. This is great. And I buy some $10 because everyone's, oh, not me. But it's still, now, it doesn't even drop down that much. Can we get some cheaper shit? I mean, I'm trying to gear up here, but I'm still not trying to pay
You got to stop buying like the on-brand stuff.
I'm trying to buy $70 for some team that's fucking wins 5
You're gonna
games.
have to go through like Wish. You
Right.
get some Wish
That's not how
Nebraska.
it
gear.
used to be, though. It used to be, all right, 75% off all last year's Husker year.
Go
All
to
right, perfect.
Alibaba. See if you can get some
Not
Husker
anymore.
gear.
Yeah, just get. They probably got a shirt now that says next year on it.
I wonder how the Husker Hounds guy still is in business. I just can't see.
It's because it's because of the next year thing. It's always hopeful. I bet Husker Hounds makes
Yeah.
they sell volleyball, they sell everything, but obviously like they probably make most of their money right before the first game of the season.
Well, I think part of it is, especially like this next year, you have a ton of in-state kids. The Rule has done a great job with in-state kids. He's got pretty much everybody, besides Rezak.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yep,
But
this
Omaha
time
kids,
next year.
yeah, Omaha kids want to go to UNL now.
Except that one kid in Bellevue that quit. Who was
Which one?
the kid that signed and then he quit and then tried to
Oh.
come back and then quit again or something like that?
Xavier Betts.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing now, probably mowing lawns or
You know
something.
what I saw? Remember Xavier Watts? He was playing. He played for Nebraska, and he went to Notre Dame, and he was a receiver. And I hadn't seen anything about him. I'm like, wonder what the hell he's doing. He freaking switched to defensive back and has like 5 or 6 interceptions this year. I think he leads the country in interceptions. It's like good for that kid.
Nice.
Yeah, and on the Iowa thing, like I don't know how Iowa's bad. Because they put offensive linemen and tight ends in the NFL like wildfire. Like,
They have no quarterback, and they have Brian Ferentz as their offensive coordinator. That's why.
well, yeah, but even the quarterback, like if you have a really good offensive line, you should be able to do something.
Did you see the stat that they averaged under 250 yards of offense per game this year?
Yeah.
They won 10 games.
Yeah.
The previous record for averaging
4.
was 4 by UCF.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, and they still beat us.
Yeah. But do they have 250 yards of offense? They had nothing in the second half. They had 200 in the first half, but
I don't know. I don't know. It's sad.
Hey, next year, Brett.
Yep.
You owe me
Next year.
$100.
I'll still watch them.
I mean, I'm
I'll
still
still
going to watch
watch it
them,
too.
obviously.
Yeah.
And we're all still going to watch. We're all still going to bitch like every time they fuck a game away.
Overpriced fucking Husker gear. You know?
We're all going to be excited about the recruiting class.
Yeah.
They're always like a top 25 recruiting class.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing to remember about these, like, even though they are like adults, like they're still kids. Right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not like
people in the
NFL.
stands that are yelling at them. I'm like, dude, these are kids.
Right. They're
Yeah.
still
That's what I'm
kids.
saying. I'm
And-
not against the kids. I just think I wish the program would do some different things.
Yeah, but I mean, even you bring in like the best kids. Like I coached for a long time, and like I had a team that was hands down the most talented team in the league. Like for 3 straight years, just could dick stump anyone. Like a grade of 2 grades above us, we would have beat that championship team. Like just great. And these kids would show up and they would just shit the bed because they're kids and like they got stuff going on and like they don't always like pay all that much attention, and they're like, oh, well, I can just like do this and it might work. So it adds an extra level to the coaching aspect. So even if you pay and you bring in like the best kids and you have like all the best talent, like they're still just kids, and so
That's
like,
why
the expectations are challenging.
That's why I think the coaching staff is more important than NIL money. NIL money's there, but you're only going to grab a few kids, and those kids have to be the right kids.
Yeah.
Back to the fan experience. How's that shitter up there by your seats?
It's nice. It's warm.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you have to go
you're
all
paying
the way
for that, right?
How many levels down do you have to go to get to
Just
it?
one.
Oh,
I
okay.
just have to go down the stairs.
And it's warm in there, and it's
the east side
you got
has
a door and everything, and
Yeah, the east side has its own bathrooms and concession stands.
Yeah,
for every
you
section.
shit in Memorial Stadium more than once, so it has to be a pretty decent fan experience. Because back when I was going there was no shit in that stadium.
But now that was the east side that was been done. I don't. You know, they have Cook Pavilion, and Dominican Sue gave them a bunch of money for a weight
weight
room.
room, yeah.
When they did the east side, they put in all this like fucking science and fucking training stuff. So I don't understand why they needed a $150 million practice facility. You know, I don't understand. Like Northwestern, like was a decent team for quite a few years, right? Not like a contender, but they won games. They beat Nebraska quite a few times. And from what I heard, their facilities were like dog shit.
But they also they also just put in a new practice facility.
Just did.
Yeah.
And they're actually worse now. But the years prior, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's always about the facilities if you don't have.
Facilities help though.
I mean,
It
when
helps
Nebraska
with
was good, they used to practice under the stadium. I've practiced on that field before, that fucking shitty stadium that's underneath Memorial Stadium. That, like, whatever they call that down below. It's, like, super musty and fucking gross down there. I practiced down there when I went to football camp. And that's where the 90s teams practiced at.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, you're also everyone else in the '90s. Now everyone else is doing this.
different.
Like you have to just keep up with the Joneses.
Like you can extrapolate out from just the sports teams and look at like universities in general. There's a shit ton of money that goes into like the commons area and the dining halls and the stuff that has nothing to do with academics, but they have like super nice fancy shit to try to attract people there, even though like you could have the same academics as somewhere else. Like,
Yeah,
you
when
have
I went
great
there in
facilities.
like '97, you could. It was like you had fast food in the commons area.
Right.
That was it.
why don't we just get like 4 Lamborghinis?
'Kay.
And we'll get them down there, right? The school will buy them, and then you put, you got 4 touchdowns this week. You get to drive the red one. Oh, you got 2 picks. You can drive the blue one.
It's a great idea.
I mean,
I think there's only like 4 places in Lincoln you could drive a Lamborghini and not just bottom out.
don't kill my dream, man.
I mean, you can't drive them on Lincoln or Omaha
Or
roads.
I mean, whatever fancy car, you know what I mean? That's like hey, these are university
Honda
cars,
Accord,
but
bro.
if you're playing you're playing really good, you get to drive
G-Wagon.
this.
You won't bottom out a
Oh,
G-Wagon.
right.
There you go. Let's get a
Dude,
G-Wagon.
have you seen they make an off-road G-Wagon, like a legit off-road vehicle that's a G-Wagon?
G-Wagons are
It's
pretty
like
cool.
500,000. But
This guy comes in this, not my store, but the vape shop next door. Fucking people. But he must vape a lot because he's in there a lot. But he has like an old school G-Wagon. That fucking thing is sweet. He vapes though, so.
My client has one of
that's
those.
metal in your lung.
My client has one of those that Porsche Dakar. That's that video of me trying to get in it. It was on Instagram. But that's an off-road. That suspension adjusts like 4 to 6 inches or something like
Yeah.
that. And it has like, you have a rack on top for gas cans and shit like that.
Yeah.
For just a regular Porsche. I mean, like a regular bodied Porsche.
Yeah.
I'd take that off-road G-Wagon.
I like your idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why don't
the-
you fund that?
Oh,
Yeah.
you could sponsor it.
Yeah.
Free shaker bottle.
Elite
with-
Nutrition. Just Elite 1 on the license plate.
I'm sure that someone has plenty of money that loves the Huskers. Larry the Cable Guy, coming soon. You know, any of those guys. they could
Or the guy
probably-
that paid the $15 million to make Frost leave last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, $50 million was a lot, but do you see what Jimbo got paid to leave?
$77 million.
$77 million to not coach.
Well, that's why I said that 10 to 1 odds about Rule getting fired. Somebody said that Texas A&M was like a rumor of him going there.
I doubt it.
why would you go to Texas A&M?
surprised.
Because obviously they pay you a lot of money to leave.
I guess. No.
Maybe that's the ploy for Nebraska now. If everyone wants the job here because they know they get paid to leave.
Yeah,
Well,
if you
no.
coach
Well,
Nebraska,
if he goes somewhere else, Texas A&M has to pay us his buyout.
unless
that's why those
unless he
buyouts are
pulls
big.
the old Bo Pelini and goes somewhere and takes way less money, so Nebraska has to keep paying.
No, that's because we fired. But if he
If he leaves on his own, okay.
that's why the buyouts are so high. Is so if another school comes in and tries to get you, they have to pay the buyout.
Oh, they
But
really had
that's
a lot
why
of hope for Jimbo
yeah.
Fisher.
Yes, they had a lot of hope. They paid him $1 million a win over the last 4 years.
I mean, he did well at Florida State, though.
Yeah, well, he had a quarterback.
Well, who did nothing in the NFL? I don't get that. God, he was bad.
Jameis?
30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions in a season.
He's colorblind. He didn't know which team he was throwing to.
Get the fuck out of here.
All the
You guys are a
jerseys.
mess.
Yeah.
Did he get in trouble for yelling?
Stealing crabs.
Oh, I thought he yelled
Or
something.
lobster?
I thought he yelled something on campus one time too. That was
Oh, he did that. He was on didn't he yell at somebody? He was like on a lunch table or something, yelling at somebody.
Yeah.
yeah, and then he stole something from.
He stole crabs.
Yeah,
Like King Crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, now look at him.
I don't
He gets
know.
paid a lot of money not to play football.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, we really ventured into a lot of things there.
Well, Thanksgiving and football are the same.
Yeah.
blood sport.
Obviously, we all want Nebraska to do well.
You're going to owe me $100.
I don't think I will.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to put this out there. Norman still owes me $100.
Yeah, you're not going to get that.
What a piece of shit.
But I don't know. We'll see next year. It's always next year.
Always next
Yeah,
year.
Always next
year.
year. We've been losing by field goals for the last 10 years, so we might as well just fucking keep it going, you
You
know?
know, and it's tradition.
Yeah.
I mean, the odds have to just, at one point in time, just have to swing to our side to where we win all the one-score games.
No,
I mean, just by
it
just,
hasn't happened yet. Not even by a chance. It hasn't happened
just
yet.
by statistical probability, it has to happen at some point.
If we win 9 wins next year, I'd probably think I'd died. Oh, this isn't real life. I don't know.
It's the simulation.
Well, see, it's going to be different next year. There's no West and East next year either
Yeah.
in the Big Ten. So,
Damn it.
yeah, it's going to be interesting if the Pac-12 team comes over. So, we'll see what happens. Tanner and I got $100 on it. Tanner thinks that Nebraska's going to win 7 games next year.
Yep.
What do you think, Chris?
The season is 2 days over, and I'm already on next year.
You can't ever predict what's going to happen.
I just
at
did.
Nebraska. You
Accurately.
never, not anymore.
You know, I hope they win more games. I hope they win 6 at least next year.
You look at the schedule,
One
like,
more
oh,
than
we're
this year.
definitely going to beat this team. Then we get rolled up and like, what the fuck happened?
Do you
What
remember?
happened?
Do you remember like what was it? Tuesday we lost like the non-conference game. We
Yeah.
lost like to North Dakota State or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know who it was to. We also lost to Northwestern last year. They were 1-11.
Yeah, we gave them that one dub.
Yep, just helping them out.
Yeah, we helped
welcome.
Iowa get that 10-win season this year,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that was nice of us. You know, Ferentz was crying after the game, so
Because he had to fire his son.
I wonder if he's gonna. I wonder if he retires.
I just thought he was crying because he didn't know where he was.
Isn't it weird when he's calling plays? He pulls that little flip book out of his pocket,
Right.
like looks like all suspect, and puts it back in his pocket. What was that play again? Oh shit! Okay, there it is.
They only have 4 plays. It can't be that hard.
Well, who won?
Yep.
Anyway, all right. Well, I want to thank everybody for listening. All of our dozens and dozens of fans out there, and
Go Big Red.
go Big Red. It's always next year. Women's volleyball team. They took a loss, but they're still on top though. They lost to Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still pretty awesome though. So Husker volleyball still crushing it out there. Go like, subscribe, follow us. We're on the YouTubes also if you want to look at our our pretty faces.
Spatchcock turkeys.
Spatchcock turkeys.
And if for no other reason, it's busy good to say spatchcock.
Right.
Yeah.
We should do a counter on the video. How many times spatchcock was said?
Spatchcock. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.